Hey everyone, it's Hindash. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Timmy, and today's video is a very exciting, special video. I am joined with Joanna. She came to my studio, and if you don't know who she is on the brand new Netflix hit show, AlRawabi School For Girls. I love it. I binge watched it in a day, and I'm so proud of it because it's an all Jordanian cast and production. So you guys have to check it out. It's on Netflix. So the first thing I noticed about Joanna were her eyes. So for this look, I really wanted to play up her features, particularly her eyes, and give her this kind of Sophia Loren inspired look. Really playful, really fun, but very structured. So if you want to see how to create this look, then please keep watching. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube down below. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok. That's both Hindash if you want to see what looks are coming next to YouTube, because I always post there before they get posted here. And I hope you guys enjoyed the look. Bye. Alright, so here we have the beautiful Joanna, and I'm going to be starting off with skincare as always, and I'm going to be taking the Caudalie Mist and just refreshing her face and getting her ready for makeup. I haven't used this in a very long time. And for toner, I'm going to be going in with my Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Toner and just applying that all over her skin, again to refresh her and then prep her skin for all the products that I'm going to be putting on top of it, and that'll make sure that everything sinks in much more efficiently. Next, I'm going to be going in with my hyaluronic acid, and I'm taking the Vichy Mineral 89 serum and I'm just applying that all over the skin, and as always taking the time to massage this in. I just want to make sure I'm covering the entire skin and down the neck as well. For eye cream, I'm going to be taking the Drunk Elephant C Tango eye cream and applying a generous layer underneath the eyes and tapping it in, making sure I'm very gentle, going all around the eyes. And my last step is going to be moisturizer. This is the Naturium Multi-Peptide Moisturizer. Again, I love this. It's very basic. I'm going to be applying this all over the skin. And this is going to act as my moisturizer and primer in one because it sits beautifully underneath makeup, and I feel like it works for all skin types. So again, really massaging this in and making sure I get that blood circulation going. And as you can see, we're just having fun. And it's at this point where I'm always kind of cracking jokes with everyone, so there's a lot of laughter involved. And I told Joanna there was a treat coming and she didn't know what it is. And of course, I busted out my, my blue cryo globes, and I'm going to be applying that all over the skin, focusing underneath the eyes, getting a lot of depuffing action. This really cools down the skin and it feels amazing. I love doing this on myself, and of course I love doing it on other people because it just makes them feel so good. So it's a very relaxing step. For foundation, I'm going to be taking the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in Fiji, and I'm applying that with my KVD brush, my all-time favorite. Again, going in with very thin layers. I'm really working it into the skin, treating it almost like a tinted moisturizer, because I feel like that's how foundations perform the best, when you kind of work with thin layers and just let that formula do all the work. And if you need more, you can apply more. But I believe that's what concealer is for. So again, really taking the time to blend and buff this in. When I get to the forehead, I'm using very minimal product because I don't want a lot of creasing on the forehead. For concealer, I'm going to be taking the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Avocado. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm basically applying very little of this, just dotting it where she needs it, because she doesn't really need concealer. We just want to brighten. We don't want to really cover. And I'm going to be blending this in with my damp beauty blender and just tapping it in. You don't want to rub and move that coverage. You just want to tap it in place and let that blending of the beauty blender do its work. And now we have a beautiful base and complexion, and we're ready for some color. And for that, of course, I'm going to be taking my Hindash Cosmetics Beautopsy palette, which is back in stock right now, which is so exciting. So head over to the website, hindash.com, to check it out, worldwide shipping. And yeah, I'm going to be taking the first shade, which is Tan Lines, and focusing on tan, which is a beautiful bronzy shade for Joanna, and putting that on the cheeks, bit on the nose, the forehead, anywhere where I want to kind of sculpt and add some warmth. And to set her under eyes, I'm going to be taking Tan Lines and wet paint and using the white of Tan Lines and the beige of wet paint and just applying that underneath the eyes These powders are very thin, very flattering and forgiving, and they feel like silk. So they work beautifully on the eyes, on the face, wherever you want to put them. And with this step, I'm basically setting and highlighting at the same time. So on the jawline, chin, any areas where I want to kind of bring forward. To hydrate her lips, I'm going to be taking the Lucas Pawpaw ointment, which I love. I haven't used this in quite a while. And then moving on to brows, I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. I'm obsessed with this. It is so good. It doesn't leave the brows crunchy, just very soft, holds them in place all day. I love brushing this up and then kind of going in and figuring out what shape I want to go for, which is always a natural one, but just an elevated shape. And to fill in the brow and to make it more structured, I'm taking the brow definer, again from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the shade Auburn. And I'm going to be focusing on the tail of the brow, but then running a bit of that all across and throughout the brow. Very, very thin lines. I don't want to see any harsh lines. I just want to mimic the fullness of a brow. And I'm going to be going in with the last step towards the end, but I'm stopping here for now. Then taking my Beautopsy palette again and a liner brush, I'm going in to Intrafatum and taking Intra, which is the chocolate brown, putting a bit of a setting spray on it and using that as a liner because these formulas work beautifully wet as well. So I'm going to be mapping out the liner that I want to do on Joanna, and I want to do a very straight liner that extends out. And it's going to be very dramatic and it's going to kind of go out really, really straight. So I'm having her look straight ahead as I'm doing this to figure out the shape. And now I'm going to be connecting the sharp point into the crease, and as you can see, she's looking straight ahead so I can see exactly where her crease is. Things get a bit out of hand here because I was trying to do something a bit more creative and dramatic, but I realized I want to keep this more of a classic bold look, so I erased that. And I'm really extending this line out, kind of almost like a Sophia Loren liner, and taking it into the crease and stopping pretty much halfway. Repeating the same steps on the other eye. It's really important when you're doing this to keep looking straight ahead. As you can see, she's basically having her eyes open throughout the entire look. And then to add more shape to this and kind of blend it a bit more, I'm taking Feel Real and the shade Feel, which is a kind of darker tan color. And I'm going to be blending that with a pencil brush throughout that crease work that I did. So it goes from really sharp to a blended line and diffuses into nothing. And to blend that even more, I'm going to be taking tan lines and just blending that throughout the crease and into the brow. And these shadows blend themselves, so you don't have to do a lot of work, but blending is beautiful. I'm taking tan lines again and going underneath the eyes and just tying everything in together. And I'm going to be stopping there with the eye look for now. I'm going to be moving on to mascara and applying a generous layer all throughout her lashes. This is the Tarte Man-Eater mascara. And going in a bit underneath the lower lash line and just brushing that through. For individual lashes, I'm going to be using the Ardell Individuals in medium, as always. Next for highlighter, I'm taking the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone and applying that on the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, Cupid's bow chin, and on the inner corners of the eyes. I love these highlighters. They're really so beautiful. And I'm taking a fan brush and putting that on the cheekbones and a bit on the chin as well. To complete the eyes, I felt like there was something missing. I'm going to be going in with a light eyeshadow base. And I'm going to be applying that all over the lid to kind of give us a pop and create more of a graphic eye. So I'm applying that all over the crease with a brush, and I'm going to be tapping it in with my finger to make sure that it's nice and blended and it removes that excess. Then with my brush, I'm just going to be making sure that I get into the lashes, above the lash line, and into that sharp point that I did. I'm going to be dabbing a glitter on top. This is a liquid, so just tapping it on top of what I did. I'm just going to add that beautiful sparkle. For blush, I'm taking Boy Wonder and tan lines and focusing on boy and tan, and then dipping it into that wet paint shade because I feel like that really diffuses all the colors if you're lighter, and then blending that on the cheeks. And as you can see, it looks very, very flattering. You can really tone these colors down or bump them up. To finish off the brow, I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pen in the shade Blonde and just adding a few strokes throughout the brow. And I'm going to accentuate her freckle, one freckle, and then adding the rest because if you watch the show, Joanna's character Rania is a redhead on the show and she has these beautiful freckles. So I thought I would bring that into this look. I mean, we have to. And taking my palette, Beautopsy again, I'm dipping into the Feel Real shade, into the brown, and adding more of those freckles to create an even softer, more natural look. And I'm doing that with a liner brush. For lip pencil, I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil, and this is in the shade Wherever Walnut. I love this color. It's really, really flattering. And I'm going to be lining her lips and overlining them slightly on the top and filling them in. And again, I'm kind of going for a monochromatic look, so all the tones are very reddish and warm and suit her complexion and her hair. I'm going to be topping off that lip with a light peach lipstick just to blend everything in and create this really unified lip. So beautiful and really matches the look and matches her coloring again. And I'm going to tie everything in with that lip liner again. Now that the lip is done, I always like to go back into the blush because I feel like you can kind of get to see what's missing in the face and I can add more. And I'm adding more of that Boy Wonder and tan lines to create that peachy brown and just going over the blush that we did and intensifying it. A bit on the tip of the nose and down the neck. I always love to add a bit of color on the neck too. I'm going to take tan lines and do my nose contour trick, which is just shading the lower part of the nose and the tip across a bridge, which I love. And then taking a bit of that tan into the inner crease and into the brow, just really ties everything in. I felt like the look was missing something, so I'm creating a double liner underneath the lower lash line and really not connecting it, but going in parallel of the liner on top and stopping almost halfway. Again with that intra color, which is a chocolate. And as you can see, when she looks straight, this really just elongates her eyes and gives it even more shape and just makes it almost like, I don't know, just really, really looks beautiful. And that is the final look on Joanna. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We had so much fun doing this. She is such an awesome person and we just really had a good time. I can't wait to have her back in my studio so we can do even more dramatic looks, more simple looks, and just have fun. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel down below if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell to be subscribed, to be notified. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Hindash and TikTok at Hindash as well. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.